Hi, welcome everyone. This is the kindergarten team. My name is Mrs. Beretta.
And I'm Mrs. Boss.
Hi, I'm Miss Towery.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Powell-Dixon.
We'd like to share some of our kinder virtual expectations with you. The first one we're going to talk about is to be on time. Just make sure you're logging into the correct time every day and getting to school on time. The next one is act like you're at school. So this means that you're up, ready to go, dressed to start the day. Make sure your supplies are close by all the time. If you haven't received your supplies, please get in touch with your teacher to make an appointment to go grab them from your school. The next one is sitting in one spot during class. Try to find one spot that's quiet and that you can use every day. And also keep your supplies right near that spot so they have them to go when the teacher's asking for them. Keep yourself muted. That's something that your children have been learning the last couple of weeks, is to mute and unmute. So what you want to do is make sure that you practice with your child how to do that. And sometimes we have to mute everybody. And that's a lot of noise in the background, so we try to do that. So make sure they can unmute themselves when they need to. Turn on your video. We love to see their faces, so make sure your video is on all the time. And knowing that the video's on, just be careful with things that are behind the children because we can see everything that's going on. Raise your hand to talk. This is the easiest way to get our attention. If the kids all talk at the same time, it's very difficult to see who's talking, so raising your hand is the best way to get our attention. Listening. Be good listeners. Virtual learning is a challenge for all of us, but it is important that they're really good listeners during this time. No eating or drinking during class. Make sure you get your snacks, your drinks, and all of that stuff before class and after class. We will have a break throughout our class, and that's a good time to have one too, but just make sure you don't bring it back to class. Most importantly, have fun and do your best. Just a couple other things that aren't on that are to always be mindful of your background so we can hear and see a lot of stuff that's going on in your home. So just make sure that you are aware that the cameras are on when your students are in class. Always be sure to talk with your teacher when she asks you something, because that's the easiest way that we know that you're learning what we're teaching. And the last thing is if you're receiving special services, please show up for that separate Zoom meeting. If you are not sure, just go ahead and check in with your teacher and we'll let you know. Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm going to talk to you about our kindergarten curriculum. The first part we have is always reading and writing. Reading and writing is an important part of our curriculum, and we do that for about 60 minutes every day. Math, 60 minutes every day. And we have other areas that we also are going to be incorporating into our curriculum. Those include science, social studies, social emotional learning, music, art, and even physical education. In language arts, we're going to be learning the letter names. We're going to be learning the letter sounds. We're going to be learning sight words, basic sight words, at least 30, maybe more, as many as we can in kindergarten. They will be writing every day. We want them in the beginning, of course, to start with just writing letters, then developing them into sentences, and eventually, hopefully, writing paragraphs by the end of kindergarten. They can do it. We'll be reading with them as a group, and we'll also be reading with them individually. They'll be able to read things all by themselves. Don't worry, we'll be reading a lot this year. Now, phonemic awareness is a little bit difficult to understand. Those are things that we involve to make our words go together. So blending would be taking parts of a word and blending them together, or taking individual sounds and putting them together, like k, t, to make cat. Segmenting means we take words and break them apart. So if I say the word cat, you can break it apart into k, a, t. Rhyming means they need to be able to recognize words that rhyme, such as cat, bat, rat, fat, bug, rug, but also being able to produce rhymes. So if we say a word like cat, they have to be able to tell us back words that rhyme with it, like rat, bat, sat, hat, fat. But they could even be silly words like gnat or crat or schnat or whatever they make up, but it has to be a word that sounds the same at the end. First, parts of words, we want them to identify beginning sounds among two words. So if I say dog and dig, the beginning sound is D. For ending sounds, the opposite. They have to hear the sound at the end. So if I say bag and fig, the ending sound is G. And syllables. We want them to be able to break words into syllables. So if we say a short word, dog, they have to know that only has one syllable. Even if it has more than one sound, they have to know the difference between a sound and a syllable. So if I say the word teacher, it has teacher. If it is bug, that's only one. If it's fish, one. Rascal, rascal, two syllables. So we'll be working on all of those things in language arts. The next part we're also going to be doing is mathematics. Now mathematics has a lot of different parts. We have numbers, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but number sense also. They have to be able to identify groups of things. So they understand that 1 means one thing. 15 means there are 15 different things. So they understand that groups can be represented by numbers and that quantities can be represented by numbers also. Counting collections. Now, hopefully you'll be starting to gather things around your house and start to count them as you see them. So it could be spoons and you count the spoons. It could be forks and you count the forks, or even marshmallows. You have a collection of marshmallows, take them out and count them. Counting collections is actually an important part to build that number sense. We'll be working on shapes, we'll be working on measurement, and then at the end of the year, we'll be getting into addition and subtraction. Simple number, basic facts for numbers up to 5 for addition and subtraction. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. Basic facts for addition, but we want them to have an idea and the sense of how to put things together and take them apart.
Okay, so now I'm going to take a moment to spend some time to speak to you a little bit more in depth about the different subject areas and the different applications that coincide with the subject areas. As far as our learning is concerned, now that we are virtually learning, we have what we call the computer-based learning, and then we have the traditional style learning. And with that being said, in English language arts, we'll be using the Your Turn yellow book for the traditional learning that's located on the right side of this page, along with regular paper and pencils or journals, and then also read aloud books that we could read together along with parents. As far as the computer-based learning for English language arts, we will be using several different applications. Most of them will be found in our Long Beach student portal. This would include our Wonders, which is the McGraw-Hill red symbol that you see in the center of this page, along with Get Epic, Zoom, which of course we're using right now, and the Core 5, which is the blue Core 5 icon that you see below. Okay, so in math, the same thing applies where we would have our computer-based learning as well as our traditional style learning. In regards to our traditional style learning, we would simply be using our Go Math mathematics books, using counting collections, reviewing the calendar, doing oral rote counting, and then we would also have personal math workbooks. For computer-based learning, we would use what we call GG, which is the penguin at the bottom, and then also Think Central, which is located in our student portal. Now, Think Central is aligned with our Go Math workbook that's with the traditional style learning. Okay, so you might be asking, wow, Miss Towery, wow, kindergarten teachers, I don't know where to find all of these applications. Well, guess what? Have no fear. Most of them are in your Long Beach student portal. You would simply follow these 6 steps to get to most of your applications. simply go to the longbeachschools.net website, find the student drop down, and type in your user ID, your student's user ID, passcode, and then once inside, you can click on the applications. Be sure to do all 6 steps. Okay, so what are these applications? Again, I've gone over most of them, but one very important one that I have not covered yet is the Canvas application. Now, the Canvas can be found in 2 places. You can find it following those steps in the previous slide, or you can simply go to the longbeachschools.net website, click on the students menu, and the first, I believe the first bar should say Canvas, and you can click on there. Okay, it should take you into, direct you to the student portal. Okay, now again with math, here are the rest of the instructions, excuse me. Of course, you would follow the first 6 from the previous slides, and then you would continue with these instructions here. For Gigi, you would again follow the first 6 in the previous slide, and then the 7th step would be to find the Gigi penguin icon. Okay, now as far as ELA is concerned, for Wonders and Core 5, again, you would go to the previous slides. Now it's the previous 2 slides, first 6 steps. And then for the last steps, you would follow these slides here. Lastly, we have what we call our independent reading. The independent reading, we use Get Epic. And you don't necessarily have to go inside the student portal. You can go directly to Epic and check with your student's teacher to get your student's class code, and it will direct you right into your student's instructions. Lastly, we have PE. Now, PE is done with our teacher, of course, and then also you have a choice of going into Go Noodle, which that's the website right there.
Now I'm going to go over our schedule and just let you know that we have 2 sets of classes, AM and PM. The AM class starts at 9 a.m. until 11:30 and PM from 12:30 to 3. At 9 o'clock, we have our welcome and social emotional learning. 9:15, we begin our language arts block. Around 9:45, the kids should have a 5-minute break where they are completely away from the screen. This will ensure that their eyes get a break and they're able to go to the bathroom and get their snack so that they don't bring it back to class. 9:50, we begin our math block. And then 10:20, mindfulness. This is the time where we are going to connect as a group, talk about our feelings, make sure that everybody is feeling okay during this rather crazy, uncertain times. 10:30, we're going to begin our other subjects, which include social studies, science, art, and PE. At 10:50, we will some days have small groups. Other days we'll stay in the large group, and other days we'll be doing individual learning at that time. Your teacher will let you know what's happening that day. And at 11:30, it's our dismissal. Now, let me tell you something. Kindergarten is not used to having minimum days. So this will be new, especially to some of our parents who have older children who are used to the minimum day schedule. Kindergarten will now be included in the minimum day. So this schedule, 9 to 11:30, is for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Thursdays, the children will be dismissed at 11. And for the PM class, Thursday dismissal is 2:30. If you have any questions about the schedule, just contact your teacher. We want to take this time to say thank you. If you have any questions, of course, we are available to you at any time. Thank you, kindergarten parents, and we look forward to a wonderful year.
Thank you.
Bye.